Hello, bass family, and welcome to Everything Bass. Yeah, we're moving right along. We're at Hyperneck Study 10. Now, I always have to be cognizant that unlike a class I'm teaching at a school, this might be the first class, the first video that you see. So I want to kind of give you a quick synopsis on what Hyperneck is meant to do. At its inception, the first thing I was trying to create when to achieve when I created this was a new way to learn the notes in your fingerboard. Too many times we start learning by using scales, but really what most students, in my experience, they learn the name of the root, but not the other notes because they're memorizing the patterns. And so I wanted to break out of that. Then when that started showing a lot of success as I was teaching at Musicians Institute and I was showing my students this, and I started seeing them get better and better, I started tweaking it. I applied different keys. I used different strings for the exercise. So you're definitely welcome if this is your first video that you've seen in the series, take it with us. But I would say right after, go to number 1 and you'll see the basic, the original design for the exercise and then how I've tweaked it every unit since. The end goal is that you achieve a lot of things. You know your fingerboard better, you get really accurate with your shifting, of course technical development, all those things, and that you really become intentional in like when you're playing, you're thinking, and instead of just kind of letting your muscle memory take over, which is not a necessarily horrible thing, but when we rely on our muscle memory, we end up playing bass lines and solos that sound the same as something we just played. The way out of that is to understand your fingerboard, understand harmony and theory, and be intentional, be conscious as you're playing, make decisions and act on them. That's what we're accomplishing here. So this exercise, we're doing A major. So we started doing everything in the key of C because all the notes are natural. Then I started, if you go back and you look, I've been very planned. I started with 1 flat, the key of F, then 1 sharp, the key of G, and then so on and so forth. So now we're up to A. And A has 3 sharps. We're going to have C sharp, F sharp, and G sharp to work with. I've also added a right hand element to this to make it a little different. Instead of just playing, it's a measure of 6/8, instead of playing 6/8 notes, you'll see I'll throw some 16th notes in there. So let's get started. I don't want to do too much background because those of you who are keeping up with the series, I don't want to bore you. So now we're going to go back to using the D and the G strings. Oh no, I apologize. We're actually going to do the A and the D string. I changed it a little bit up this time. And so we're in the key of A. We're on the A string. We have to start with a fretted note. So you might think, oh, why not start with open A? I want to start always and use fretted notes. So we're going to start with the B, the second note of the scale. Now we have, as I said before, in this key we have a C sharp. So we have to play the C sharp and then we play a D. So the first 3 notes you're going to play is B, C sharp, D. Remember, it helps to say the notes out loud, even if you're alone. I know it might seem silly, but just thinking them doesn't get you all the way there. It'll really help you retain if you actually just verbalize and say B, C sharp, D. Now we go in the key of A, it's fine to play E. Then we have F sharp, and you're going to have to slide up G sharp. So that's a little micro shift. So you're going to go B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp. Now what's nice about that is when we slide up to this position, our index finger is right over the next note, which is the C sharp. So we got C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. All right, and I'm going to do one more position, but then I'll explain something. So we're going now to, we start on the B, then we started on the C sharp, so now we start on the D. So now we have D, E, F sharp. That's a big stretch. And then we've got G sharp, A, B. So those first 3 positions sound like this. Oh, I made a mistake, sorry. So, the reason I stopped there is at this point, that should be enough for you to finish out the exercise. You're welcome to, of course, download the sheet music. You can go to my patreon.com/everythingbass account. For a very, very, very low fee, you can actually become a monthly Backstage Pass subscriber. When you get a Backstage Pass membership, that allows you to go to every video post. This one will be called Hyperneck Study Unit 10. Open it up, and you can actually download the sheet music, which has standard notation, but more importantly for this exercise, it has the tab, because I want you to make sure you're playing the exact frets that I want you to play to get the most out of the exercise. If you're a really great sight reader, you might play it using open strings and not really get what I want out of it. But I decided a couple units ago not to show you every hand position because I'm afraid that you might be memorizing the fingering patterns and not thinking of the notes. So I've got enough to get you started. Remember, and the best part is just remember that you got C sharp, F sharp, and G sharp. Every other note that doesn't start with a C, F, or G is natural. We're using just these two strings, the A string, the D string, and you can go as high as you feel you need to. I do get some questions about, like, why I say that is, if I have a lot of time to practice, I'll go as high as I can go, even all way up here. Even though I might not play up there a lot, I'm just doing it to kind of reinforce, because the frets are there, I should know the notes. But if I'm limited for time, I might just take it up to a 12th fret. Because the beautiful thing about our instrument is that the 12th fret, everything repeats. If this first fret is an F, the first note after the 12th fret is an F, so it just becomes a little easier. The reason why I will push up there is playing up here, your technique changes because your hand's at a different angle, your elbow's at a different angle, everything's different. So just because you can play really well here clean without fret buzzes, up here where the frets are closer together and everything's a little different, you might need a little exercise on that. And so, it's up to you to go as high as you think you should. I also encourage you to go back down. So we're playing up, 6 notes up, moving a shift up, and then come down. It's up to you whether you want to continue to play the pattern up, da 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 da, up like, or play it backwards, da 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 da. If you want to play it backwards and then coming down, it'll have different challenges. All this reinforces the notes of your neck. All right. So Unit 10, that's it. So now I've got an encore item that some of you guys might roll your eyes at, and I want you to kind of take a moment before you have that reaction, roll your eyes at it, because I really wanted to. There's a couple reasons I chose this encore item. One is sometimes we get, and I'm speaking from my experience, we get kind of wrapped up with maybe the public image of a band or how other people tease them, and they're kind of the butt of all jokes, but in reality, the musicianship's great, the songs are good. Sometimes we can let that, other people's opinions, or just because it's kind of goofy to what social norms are, we won't really listen and hear some great music from great musicianships. And that's how it was with me. I can remember when MTV used to play music videos, they had the Headbangers Ball, and I was a young metalhead. I loved it. I mean, I'd stay up so late and watch Headbangers Ball. And I remember seeing Manowar, and that's today's encore item. I chose an album, Louder Than Hell by Manowar. But I remember seeing the video, and they were dressed in like loincloths, and the video was kind of not really that great. And then sure enough, I get magazines and I read, like, I remember I used to subscribe to Kerrang magazine, which is a metal magazine, and people write in and they'd have not great things to say. So I just kind of brushed off Manowar. Oh, they're not good. Well, fast forward a couple of years, I met someone who actually knew the band really well. I believe was like a tour manager for them. And he's another bass player, a friend of mine. And we started talking about the band, and he was like, oh man, you got to check out Joey DeMaio. What an amazing bass player. He's totally unique, and his technique's phenomenal. And so I gave it another shot. And man, sure enough, he was totally right. Joey's a phenomenal player. I chose this album because of all the albums that I did end up getting, I just thought the compositions are phenomenal, and it had a lot of character. This album had a lot of great character in it. And what I mean by that is you got a song like Outlaw or The Power, which are just driving metal songs with amazing bass lines. On Power, listen to like all the little like fills and stuff that Joey's playing on his bass. He is so precise. I'm really impressed by his playing. But then you've got this piano power ballad kind of thing called Courage, about going off to war. And I guess it also was impactful because when I heard this, my brother had gone off to fight overseas. And to hear the song, maybe it just struck an emotional chord. I don't know. I'm not going to make any excuses. This song's a great song to me. I like how it develops and builds. So this got to me actually getting deeper into the band, and I bought some of their live concert videos, and sure enough, I mean, Joey's just a beast. So if you can look past maybe some of that, or don't let other people make decisions for you, and I say this for any band. Let's say you like a pop singer, and you like the band, but all your musicians friends make jokes and post stuff on Facebook about them. Don't let that stop you. If you like it, you like it. If it's good to you, it's good. And so that's how I started, from this experience, I started really listening and not being, swayed by other people's opinions. And I found a lot of great artists, a lot of great songs, a lot of great bands that I'm going to share with you as Encore Items. So, Hypernext Study Unit 10, Manowar, Louder Than Hell. Check both out. Let me know what you think. Put the exercise onto your music stand. Try it for a week. Do you know the notes of the key of A better? I mean, if that's the smallest thing, the only thing you get out of this exercise is that when you think of the key of A, you know what notes are sharped in it, then you've actually improved your musicianship. But see what goes on beyond that. Are you more fluid on those two strings? How's your technique as you shift to different zones on the bass? Are you still playing clean notes? All these things are important. And then check out Manowar, Louder Than Hell, and let me know what you think. I'd be really interested to know what you think if metal is not your genre, if you don't like metal at all, but maybe based on this, you just give it a listen to. What do you think? What was your first takeaway? I love honest critiques of like Encore Items I've shown, but if it's not for you, don't be like really mean-spirited about that, because first of all, someone else in our family, our bass family, might really like them, and then they read your words and you're like, oh, but you can say, hey, it's not my bag, I don't like it. You can give reasons, but try not to attack them personally, because I just don't really want that kind of spirit in our family. I'd like us to have great discussions. I never want it, you don't all have to like the same thing. I don't have to like what you like and stuff like that, but I can respect that you like it and not try and make you feel bad for so. Okay, and that's enough of that. So, hey guys, as always, it's really, man, this channel's growing so fast and I'm so excited, and I thank you for that so much. If you're new, if this is a video, maybe one of the first videos you've seen, it would mean the most to me and would help me grow and do even more things with the channel if you could hit the subscribe button down there below. Hit the little bell icon, that way you're notified every time I upload a video. Hit a like on the video. Little things, if you really do value the channel, maybe you've been watching a lot of videos, if you could just like every video you watch, it really helps in the eyes of the YouTube analytics, and can really give me more opportunities in the future. So that would mean a lot to me if you could like, subscribe, bell icon, and of course share with other bass players. I want everyone involved, and I want to hear what you think. Man, the comment section below is yours, and I try to comment all the time or reply to comments, so you know I've seen it. If things are crazy in my life, I'll at least try to hit the little heart icon so you know that I saw it, or the like icon, because it means a lot to me. All right, well, I've got a full day shooting ahead of me, so I'm going to be shooting a bunch of other videos, but I want to just say thank you, and I will see you at the next video. Thanks, guys.